Watch this video to learn 7 common homebuyer questions that you may have. Hi, I'm Gaelan Trombley with Kavanaugh Realty, and what is the first step as a new home buyer? Number one thing you want to do, first thing, is talk to a lender. By talking to a lender, you're going to know exactly what you qualify, how much you can afford, how much that down payment's going to be, how much the closing costs are going to be, and what your total escrow is going to be. So first step, talk to a lender. If you don't know of a lender, give me a call. We can definitely point you in the right direction. Question number 2, what does it cost to use me as a buyer's agent? So the answer is, to you as a buyer, totally free. You don't pay me. I actually get paid through the proceeds of sale. So what that long word means is that the seller always pays commission. Now what would happen is the seller will pay commission. I would get a portion of that for representing you as the buyer. So part of your closing costs do not include commission. That is part of the seller's closing costs. So to use me as a buyer's agent, the answer is 0. Question number 3, is the down payment part of your closing cost? The answer is no. The closing costs would be paid at closing, but they're going to be for your actual down payment on the loan. Your closing costs, what they actually entail, would be any kind of bank fees. It would be your attorney fees. It would be any kind of proration of taxes and at closing. But your down payment is separate from your closing costs. So the 2 things you want to know when you talk to a lender, at least price-wise, what would be out of pocket would be your down payment and your closing costs. That's going to give you your total out-of-pocket expense. Question number 4, where does your earnest money deposit go? So when you make an offer on a property, you typically have to write a $1,000 check, which gets put into the listing company's escrow account. Now, where does that money go? It goes into the escrow account, which is the bank account for that lender, or not the lender, for the agent, and it gets applied to the purchase price at closing. So to use easy numbers, if you make an offer on a house for $150,000 and you put a $1,000 escrow earnest money deposit down, you would owe $149 at closing. $149,000 at closing between your down payment and the rest of your loan. Now the money, do you get the money back if for some reason the offer doesn't get accepted, if it falls apart, or whatever the case may be? The answer is yes. If the offer does not get accepted, you never actually have to spend the money or get the money deposited. If there's issues with the home inspection or appraisal or anything based in the contract, you would get the money back. If you just decided, heck, I don't want the home anymore and I want to, or I want to buy another house or whatever the case may be, and you just want to back out and there's no reason for backing out, or at least nothing that's protecting you in the contract, then that money would go to the seller basically to reimburse them for the time the house has been off the market. Question 5, if I'm in a multiple offer situation, how would I go about possibly winning that over another buyer? Well, it comes down to price and terms. So if your price is better, it doesn't always come down to price. Say you are waiving the home inspection, or say you have better financing, or say you don't have a home to sell. Those factors sometimes take precedent over the actual dollar amount. But the 2 big things that people usually look at first is the dollar amount and then what the terms are after the fact. So if you want to beat out another buyer, it always is good to go higher in price or offer maybe what the seller is actually asking for, so they're not negotiating down. And then you look at the other factors like, waiving a home inspection, maybe coming in with more money down on a loan, so you have a conventional loan versus maybe a USDA loan. And maybe it's, hey, I don't have a home to sell. I don't have to, wait for my home to close before I purchase this home. Those are things that you can do to win out in a multiple offer situation. Question number 6, and we're kind of piggybacking off of one of the first questions. If you want to back out of the contract, how do I go about doing that? Well, you have a few different areas of the contract that would allow you to get out of the contract. Number 1, your attorney approval clause. Every attorney or every contract that you sign would go to your attorney. They would review it just to make sure everything is good and there's nothing that's like hurting you as the home buyer. So if there's anything that they don't approve of, they will basically nullify the contract and make sure that it is no longer a binding contract to help you as the buyer and make sure nothing's hurting you. Number 2 is a home inspection. If there's any issues in the home inspection, you can back out. Same thing with financing. If for some reason you can't get financing, or maybe the appraisal comes in low, or something happened, in regards to losing your job or credit or things like that, you can back out of the contract. And the last one is basically title. If for some reason there's issues with title, say the seller has some major back taxes or liens that can't be satisfied prior to closing, then you wouldn't get the property. So there are built-in regulations in the contract that do protect you, so you're not getting into something that you otherwise wouldn't want to get into. And question number 7, is the actual asking price, is that overpriced? Is the home worth that amount? So what I always get a lot from buyers when they go look at a house and say the house, again, easy numbers, $150,000. Well, they automatically think that's, 10, 15, 20% overvalue. Not necessarily the case, especially in the market we're in right now when it's a seller's market. That number could be 100% accurate, and that could be, actually could sell above that if you had multiple people bidding on the property. So what you really want to look at is, if you have an agent, look at the comps. Make sure that they have comps they can kind of show you to prove that, hey, maybe this home is overpriced or maybe it's right in where it should sell. And the other thing, it comes down to how bad do you want the house. Your opinion of value might be different from buyer B to buyer C to buyer D. Then you also got to factor in how much the seller can actually let the home go for, because it's only worth what the seller will let it sell for and what you as the buyer will be able to purchase it for. So the actual asking price is not always, above market value. It very much could be right in line with market value, or actually be just under and end up getting a higher bid on, because of multiple offers. So if you have any questions on any of these, or if you are a first-time home buyer, give me a call. Or if you are looking to sell, give me a call. Also, my name is Gaelan Trombley with Kavanaugh Realty. You can reach me at 518-572-0088. Thanks a lot.